That night, Malika wrapped the baby in a blanket and handed it to the ritualist. In exchange, she received a thick envelope full of cash. She felt sick with guilt, but she also felt relieved. She told herself she would never do it again, but the money was too tempting. Soon, Malika found herself stealing more and more babies. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In a quiet African town named Mbali, nestled between the tall hills and dense forests, there stood a hospital everyone trusted. Mbele General Hospital was the pride of the town, known for taking care of pregnant women and delivering healthy babies. But something dark and terrible was happening behind the hospital walls, something no one could ever imagine. At the center of this story was a woman named Nurse Malika, a midwife loved and respected by everyone in the town. She was tall, graceful, and spoke with soft voice. She had helped deliver countless babies and was known for her gentle hands. Mothers who were nervous about children felt safe in her care, but hidden truth beneath her story. She was a nice person, and she was later haunted in the town for generations. Years ago, she was a very happy woman with a loving husband. But when her husband left her for another woman, Malika's life fell apart. She struggled to take care of herself and her young son, who was often sick. One day, while she was worrying about how to pay her debt, a strange visitor came to her door. This visitor was a wealthy ritualist who had heard about Malika's skills as a nurse. He told her he could help her with her problems, but he wanted something in return, a newborn baby. At first, Malika was horrified. How could she take the baby from a mother? But this man promised her money enough to solve all her problems. Malika was desperate and depressed. She agreed, telling herself it would just be only once this time around. The first baby Malika stole belonged to a young mother named Amina. Amina had come to the hospital alone with no family to support her. When her baby was born, Malika told her that he died during childbirth. Amina cried so much that her body shook, but she believed Malika's lie and left the hospital with empty arms. That night, Malika wrapped the baby in a blanket and handed it to the ritualist. In exchange, she received a thick envelope full of cash. She felt sick and guilt, but she also felt relieved. She told herself she would never do it again, but the money was so tempting. Soon, Malika found herself stealing more and more babies. Over the next 10 years, Malika stole over 50 babies from the mothers who trusted her. She did not care who the mothers were, young women, poor families, or women who had nobody to fight for them. She would lie saying the baby had died and then sell the child to her buyers. Her buyers were some of the most feared and powerful people in the region. Ritualists, they were men and women who practiced dark magic. They believed that the blood of a newborn could bring them wealth and power. Some used the babies in the sacrifice, spilling their innocent blood to gain supernatural protection or success in their business. Others used the babies to create charms that they sold to desperate people looking for quick riches. Fake pastors, Those were men who claimed to be holy leaders but secretly practicing dark ritual in their churches. They used the babies in ceremonies to grow their church and attract followers. They believed the spirit of the sacrificed babies would bring them fame and make their congregations larger. Many of those pastors became rich and famous, but their success was built with innocent blood. Wealthy couples. Some of the babies were sold to rich families who couldn't have children. Their families paid large sum of money for the babies, never questioned where they came from. Each time Malika sold a baby, she received more money than she had ever imagined. She used the money to buy expensive clothes, jewelries, and beautiful house outside the town for herself. To the people of Mbale, she seemed like a hardworking woman who had earned success with her good deeds. For years, Malika lived in double life, pretending to be kind nurse while secretly working with evil people. But the spirit of the stolen babies did not rest. Their innocent soul cried out for justice, and soon strange things began to happen in the hospital. Nurses and doctors reported hearing cries of babies in empty rooms. Some said they saw small ghostly figure wandering the hills at night. Babies with hollow eyes and pale skin. Doors would slam shut on their own and equipment would stop working for no reasons. Mothers who had lost their babies started having terrible nightmares. They dreamt of a woman in white walking away with their children. Some mothers swore they could hear their babies cry even after they had been told the child was dead. The entire hospital began to feel cursed, but no one suspected Malika. She was too loved and respected. One day, a young nurse named Amara joined the hospital. Amara was smart, curious, and eager to learn. She admired Malika and wanted to be just like her, but did not take long for Amara to notice something strange. She saw Malika always seem to take over cases involving poor people, vulnerable mothers. She also noticed that Malika spent a lot of time in the record room where patient files were kept, and she couldn't ignore the whispers among the staff about the strange noises that is happening in the hospital. Amara began to dig deeper. She stayed late after her shift. Looking through old patients' records, she found disturbing pattern. Many babies listed as stillborn or died shortly after birth had mothers who were very poor and alone, and nobody to fight for them. The numbers didn't add up. One night, Amara decided to follow Malika after her shift. She watched as Malika sneaked out of the hospital carrying a bundle wrapped in blankets. Amara followed her to a remote location outside the town, where Malika handed the bundle of blankets to a man dressed in black robes. Amara saw the man give Malika a thick envelope before driving away. Amara felt sick. She realized Malika were stealing babies and selling them. Amara went into the hospital and met the head nurse, but she was told to stay quiet. Frustrated, Amara turned to the Chief Anthony, the oldest and wisest man in the town. Chief Anthony listened carefully and told Amara that Malika was working with powerful dark forces. This is not just a matter of law, he said. This is the battle of the spirit. Chief Antonio and Amara worked together to set a trap. They pretended that Amara was a poor pregnant woman in need of help. She was admitted to the hospital and Malika fell into the trap. Hidden cameras were recording her stealing newborn babies and handling it to one of her buyers. When the police arrived, they found out that there is so many evidence in Malika's house. Fake money, fake documents, plenty money, and some certain items used in doing rituals. During Malika's trial, strange things happened. Lights flicked and cold winds swept through the courtroom. Witnesses claimed to see ghostly figures, babies with hollow eyes, standing behind Malika, crying in tears. Malika screamed, "They promised me wealth, they promised me power, but the spirits, they will not forgive me. I did this because of money. I'm here now, please forgive me. They are still giving me wealth." Before the trial could finish, Malika collapsed and died. Mbele Hospital was shut down and the stolen babies buyers were arrested, but many people in the town believed that the hospital was cursed. To this day, no one dares to go near it. People say they still hear cries of baby at night, and anyone who enters the hospital never came out the same. Malika's story became a warning to everyone in Mbele. No matter how powerful or rich you become, evil deeds will always bring punishment. The spirit of the innocent will never rest until justice is done. Moral lessons: protect the innocent, however or wherever you can. Evil cannot stay hidden, no matter how long it takes. Spiritual justice is also real, and courage reveals the truth. Trust should never be abused. Desperation is no excuse to do evil to people. Justice will always prevail. Beware of false leaders. Evil leaves lasting. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.